It's a WRAL weather alert day. A front moving through brings the potential for rain and a few storms. I'll have the timeline with Futurecast coming up.
And breaking news, a heavy police presence in a Durham neighborhood. We are live on the scene with new information in the last few minutes.
Also bridging the budget gap, Durham schools leaders will meet to discuss what needs to be cut, the changes that could affect your kids. And a good Thursday afternoon to you. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. Thanks for joining us. It's a WRAL weather alert day due to the threat for rain and storms. No rain in the viewing area just yet. But let's get to meteorologist Amy Wilmoth for a look at when that rain will start.
It should arrive later this afternoon, probably around the bus ride home for the kids, and continue into the evening commute. It doesn't look impressive right now. It's going to have to overcome some dry air that we have at the surface, but models do indicate that that's going to happen, and we still expect the chance for some scattered showers and storms this afternoon and this evening. Pockets of moderate to heavy rain will be possible, and this could impact your drive home from work or school. Some ponding on area roads possible. We do not expect severe weather, but with the timing of this arriving during the evening commute, we issued a weather alert day because it will likely have some impacts on area roads. Here's a look at around 2 o'clock this afternoon. Some hit and miss showers, maybe an isolated rumble of thunder in the western part of our viewing area. Around 3 o'clock, we'll have some scattered showers and a few spotty storms. Here's what 4 o'clock will look like. Some scattered showers and storms, and same thing around 5, 6 o'clock this evening. Although by the time we get to the second half of the evening commute, the better chance for some of those showers and storms will be over the eastern half of the viewing area, and they'll continue to move out, and we'll have clearing skies overnight tonight. It will be a little bit breezy and cooler tonight. So your hour by hour rain chances, they'll be highest from about 2 o'clock this afternoon until about 7 o'clock this evening. It'll be hit and miss showers and a few isolated storms. And again, thankfully we don't expect severe weather, but we could have some ponding on the roads later on today. Now here is one limiting factor. The dew points right now are in the 50s and the temperatures are in the 60s and 70s. So we have some pretty dry air for it to overcome. I do think that's going to happen. And coming up in just a little bit, we'll talk about how much rain we could get from today's rain.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
We are following breaking news in Durham, a large police presence in a neighborhood there.
The scene is at Oxford Manor, and that's where we find WRAL's Chelsea Donovan live. Chelsea, what do we know so far?
Yeah, this is an incredibly large scene here on Wiggins Street in Oxford Manor. This is part of the housing authority here, and we're looking at this blue car. This is the car that has been surrounded by investigators this morning. I think you're able to see that driver's side window is shot out. There are bullet holes throughout that vehicle. You can see some of these orange cones, and from what I understand, that is where they have picked up shell casings in this incident. We know that this call came out just about an hour ago. If you look to my left, you can see just a lot of people out here kind of wondering what's going on. We understand that a car came down this one-way street and started firing shots. Most people say they heard about a dozen gunshots early this morning. I want to show you, though, just how big this crime scene spans. Obviously, they have this part blocked off. But if we make our way down Wiggins Street, this is the one-way street, you can see deputies as part of Durham's strike team. That's a team that tackles violent crime. They're with the Sheriff's Department as well as Durham Police all the way down this street. We're waiting now for any information from Durham Police to try to get an idea of who they might be looking for, who pulled the trigger. We did see early on, we have this on video, might be able to show you, but we can show it to you later. They did detain someone and take them away for questioning. So hopefully we'll have some more information as this all unfolds. We're going to keep an eye here at the scene and bring you the latest information on WRAL.com and in our later newscasts. Live in Durham, Chelsea Donovan, WRAL News.
And happening right now in the WRAL Live Center as we await the rain that we're going to see later. This is a live look over southeast Wake County. That same storm system that is headed our way, it really wreaked havoc across the country. The Midwest has seen some damaging storms and tornadoes. They are picking up the pieces today across Illinois. Last night alone, they had at least 8 reported tornadoes. A lot of severe wind damage, roofs ripped off of buildings, including one school in Indiana. A lot of snow. You see this here. whiteout blizzard conditions in places like Kansas and into Minnesota. Places like Arkansas and Florida also seeing brush fires. So really a lot going on across the country. And back here in the Live Center, I'm just keeping an eye on flights. I do have a look at Charlotte Douglas International. 82 delays right now, 1 cancellation. And a little bit closer to us here, RDU seeing 20 delays and 0 cancellations right now.
Thanks, Michelle. 911 calls reveal the chaotic aftermath of a shooting inside a Subway restaurant in Spring Lake.
WRAL's Chris Lovingood listened to those calls. Chris, there were 3 of them.
I'm going to be honest here, Jeff and Renee. I had to collect myself for a moment after those calls. I mean, that's my warning for you at home. These calls are disturbing. In each of them, you can hear a young lady wailing in pain in the background. At least one of those calls was from an employee at the Subway on Murchison Road. This happened last Wednesday, and the employee said their teenager manager was shot in the eye. And then another call was from a different person who said a customer came in and shot one of the workers. Now, I want to play you a small portion from one of these calls.
Yes, ma'am. I'm at the Subway on Murchison Road, and I just had a customer shoot into the building and shoot our 16-year-old manager in the face. What's the address there?
Now, though the call looks like it said Murchison Road, it's Murchison Road. Just want to make that clear. Who you're seeing right here is 37-year-old Alyssa Reed. She's the woman accused of shooting the teenager in this attempted murder case, and she is being held on no bond because of the severity of this case. Now, I did call the Subway restaurant to check on the staff members there, see if they were okay, and of course, check on their coworker who was shot. They said that she is still recovering in the hospital at this time, Renee.
Chris, thank you. A science teacher at Durham's Jordan High School is facing charges of distributing child sexual abuse material online. And today he's expected to appear in court. Court documents show 30-year-old Miguel Tirado is charged with 10 counts of second-degree sexual exploitation of a minor. He's accused of distributing the videos online last September. Durham Public Schools confirmed that Tirado was hired as a teacher at Jordan High last year. He was arrested off campus. The principal says the school is working quickly to find and appoint a substitute teacher. A large fire at a Franklinton recycling facility is now more than 95% contained. Crews at one point had to shut down a section of US 1 to fight the fire. That section is now open again. Emergency responders say the fire started as a car fire, at Capital Auto Recycling.
Yeah, Renee, the flames then spread to the woods nearby. This video is just amazing. There were no injuries reported, thankfully. There are rescue crews that are back on the Tar River to look for a 7-year-old boy who disappeared. This will be the 4th day of that search. Crews with cadaver dogs searched the area yesterday. The boy fell into the river Monday afternoon and didn't resurface. Rescuers have been using boats and drones to try to find him.
Today, Durham Public School leaders are working to find solutions to the district's budget deficit. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey explains the changes they may make that would affect your child's schooling.
We've been staying on top of this issue for several months now. Today, parents may be able to get some answers as school leaders will meet here at the district headquarters. We reported that there was a $6.9 million budget deficit back in January. That's much less than the original estimate, $34 million. The district saved millions by cutting 15% of each department's budget at the start of the year. But where is this deficit coming from? School leaders say multiple places: unbudgeted staff positions, charter school funding, child nutrition costs, and master's pay for teachers. We asked Superintendent Dr. Anthony Lewis about how the district is preparing for federal funding cuts while they're already facing a budget deficit.
We will continue to focus on the things that we can control and advocate for those things that are being threatened, in terms of our funding, but also making sure that with the current dollars that we have, we're making sure that we're making decisions in the event that there is a loss of funding.
DPS started a series called Dollars and Decisions. That way parents can be more informed about the budgeting process. School leaders were supposed to review any feedback from that before tonight's meeting that's scheduled for 5:30. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Durham.
Today, Durham School Superintendent Anthony Lewis and Durham Mayor Leonardo Williams visited Leathers Meacham Head Start School. Students received free backpacks filled with school supplies and resources for parents. We spoke with Mayor Williams after his classroom visit.
Their motor skills are developing well, and just having conversation with them and seeing how fast they can count to 30, it's pretty impressive. Durham's future is bright.
Nearly 30,000 children in North Carolina enroll in pre-K programs every year, according to state data. The students who got backpacks today are set to graduate from high school. Get this, in the year 2039, Jeff.
Long journey. It'll be there before they know it, though.
Yep.
Today, Governor Josh Stein and state lawmakers will work on the next aid package to help communities recovering from Hurricane Helene. The governor signed a $524 million aid package into law last night. Among the things the money will pay for are home and private road repairs and paying for farmers who lost crops. This bill brings the total to more than $1.5 billion set aside by the state for Helene relief. And the Stein administration is warning that unless lawmakers change course, the state will soon be facing a declining tax revenue. Now, that warning came as part of a presentation to State House and Senate members this morning. That presentation outlined the governor's 2-year spending wish list, which includes freezing planned tax cuts. Republican leaders have pushed back on those warnings, but say they are open to taking a closer look at the issue.
You know, if we need to make adjustments around our tax cuts, I think we can do that potentially. We're not going to raise taxes, obviously.
During the budget presentation, there was also a bipartisan interest in pay increases for law enforcement and more support for dealing with the state's ongoing DMV issues.
Slightly more Americans applied for unemployment benefits last week, but layoffs remain historically low. U.S. jobless claims filings rose by 2,000 to 223,000 for the week ending March 15th. That's just fewer than the 224,000 new applications analysts had forecast. It's not clear when job cuts ordered by the Department of Government Efficiency will show up in the weekly layoffs report. However, the Labor Department's February jobs report did show that the federal government shed 10,000 jobs. Let's take a look at stocks now. The Dow is up 135 points as it tries to rebound from last week's correction territory. S&P 500 also in the green and the NASDAQ in the red.
The CEO of the Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina is speaking out about USDA funding cuts. Amy Barrow says over the past few years, the food bank has been fortunate to receive money from the government through the USDA to buy food from local farmers in North Carolina. That food is distributed directly back to the local community. The food includes fresh produce and eggs. But Barrow says they now have lost around $2 million in local food purchase funding with the cancellation of that program.
It's going to be a huge impact to neighbors and the foods that they're able to get from us. It's also going to be that huge impact to farmers. Hunger is worse than it's been in 20 years. Right now, our need actually went up by 100,000 people last year. So there's like over 500,000 people in our 34 counties who are worried about being able to have a healthy meal each day.
But Barrow says the loss of funding means more dependence on local donations. March is a match month, and that means anyone who gives money to the food bank right now will double the impact because of donors who are matching all of our gifts that are coming in. Allergy medicine recall. Bottles being pulled from shelves as pollen season ramps up. Just ahead, the risks posed by a batch of Benadryl.
Also, baby saved by police. How they helped a choking infant, and their body cams show the critical moments.
Plus, dodging a thunderbolt. A driver's close call with a flash of lightning caught on camera. Well, the catch of a lifetime is how the guys who caught this great white off the coast of the Outer Banks are describing it. It has raised many questions, though, about laws and ethics around great whites.
It's legal. We have a fishing license. We like sport fishing. And I also, we care about the animals more than they think. And honestly, we might care about the animals more than they do, but they don't. We know more about them than they do, obviously.
Well, tonight on WRAL News at 5:30, WRAL's Sean Gallagher digs into the laws around great whites in North Carolina and talks to these men about the planning, organizing, and care that went into that big catch.
As allergy season ramps up, a warning about a Benadryl recall due to risk of child poisoning. This recall involves 2,300 bottles sold on Amazon. Officials say the packaging on these Benadryl bottles are not child resistant, and so the product poses a risk of poisoning if the liquid is swallowed by little children. The recall bottles were sold online on Amazon from July 2023 through October 2024. No injuries have been reported.
Body camera video captures the moments two officers save an 8-month-old baby in California. Wow. Delano police officers Daniel Perez and Elizabeth Ramirez rushed to the scene after getting calls about a baby struggling to breathe. The officers quickly ran to that child and used back blows, which eventually dislodged a foreign object from the baby's mouth. And then the baby began breathing properly and is expected to be okay.
Well, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Wildfires have ravaged the state of Arkansas. More than 50 wildfires burned across the state, causing damage to homes and businesses. Officials are urging people to take precautions due to the high winds and dry conditions causing fires to spread. So far, no injuries or deaths have been reported.
And happening right now in the WRAL Live Center, the European Union is delaying tariffs on U.S. goods, including on whiskey. This was just announced. The retaliatory tariffs the EU announced after the U.S. imposed a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum imports earlier this month. They were set to take effect starting April 1st in a phased approach, but now the EU says they're going to do it all at once. They are set to take effect all at once April 13th, pending negotiations.
Severe storms brought plenty of lightning to the southeast over the weekend, but for a driver in Atlanta, it was way too close for comfort. You can see that driver the moment that lightning strike hits, dodging that powerful strike. A slow-mo replay shows the bolt pounding right there on the interstate. Oh my, what a show. And the driver swerves around to avoid it. The smoke right up in the grill.
It looks like something out of a movie, but no. This was captured there on the dash cam in Atlanta.
Does. That is impressive. Close up, that camera. Well, we're going to get some weather today. Not severe weather. Amy Williams is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now. We'll get some spring showers, shall we?
Right, yeah, we might have a few isolated rumbles of thunder as well. It's the timing that's key with this event. It comes right during the afternoon bus ride home for the kids and during the evening commute. And so we issued the weather alert day because it could impact roads as you're trying to get home today. So we're talking about later this afternoon through the evening. We'll have some scattered showers and some isolated storms. We could have ponding on area roads, and this is for the entire viewing area today. So here's where the cold front is right now. It doesn't look very impressive, but there is some upper level energy that could spark some of these showers and storms and get them developing later on this afternoon as temperatures start to warm up a bit. We still expect showers and a few isolated storms to develop later on this afternoon. So here's 2 o'clock this afternoon. We'll have some hit and miss showers and storms in the western half of the viewing area. By 4 o'clock, it's scattered in nature. The heaviest rain might be in the eastern part of our viewing area. 5 o'clock this evening, it's the eastern half of the viewing area that has the best chance for some of those heavier downpours. And then by 7 o'clock, these showers and isolated storms start to move out of our eastern communities, and it will dry out overnight tonight. It'll be breezy and cooler with temperatures in the upper 30s and low 40s. A look at how much rain we could get, anywhere from about 1/10 of an inch in this shaded region here, about 1/4 of an inch in this area, and maybe a few isolated spots that get up to 1/2 an inch. You'd have to get under one of those heavier cells to see that. We do have a new drought monitor in, and the drought did improve compared to what it was last week, so that's good news. We're looking pretty good right now, and that's all because of the rain. Remember the event we had Sunday with the weather alert day on Sunday as well? Well, that rain really improved the drought situation. It's not over for us, but we're seeing some improvements. We're at about 2 inches so far for the month of March. We're about 1/2 an inch below normal for the month, but we'll catch up with at least some of that today. This is a live look at the WRAL gardens. Beautiful out there. The crews are out there working in the gardens today, and it is gorgeous. Things are starting to bloom, really starting to look pretty out there. Temperatures are very comfortable. It's 70 in Cary and Raleigh, 68 degrees right now in Garner. It's 68 in Knightdale, 67 in Chapel Hill, and 70 in Holly Springs. But there is a bit of a wind to contend with. We have gusts at 31 miles per hour in Fayetteville, 23-mile-per-hour gusts in Raleigh, 25-mile-per-hour gusts in Roxborough. And it stays pretty breezy overnight tonight and into tomorrow as well. We could have gusts 30 to 35 miles per hour overnight tonight and through tomorrow. This This is a look at the hour-by-hour forecast for today. So highs will climb into the low 70s. We'll have some of these scattered showers and storms this afternoon and this evening. Again, we do not expect severe weather, but we could have some ponding on area roads. Temperatures will start to drop back down into the 50s as we head into the evening. Skies start to clear, and it will turn chilly tonight. I wouldn't rule out some patchy frost, but it is not going to be widespread. It would only be in some of the outlying typical cooler spots across the area. We'll probably get down to around 40 in and around the Triangle tonight, and then 63 tomorrow, a little breezy, lots of sunshine. So it's a cooler day tomorrow, but look at the weekend. Fabulous weather for Saturday and Sunday. Lots of sunshine with highs in the low 70s. So outdoor plans definitely a go for this weekend. We do have a little bit of rain back in the forecast Monday, but looking pretty good as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm talking about snow in the mountains in the next half hour. I'll have more on that.
How about that? All right, but looking forward to that weekend. Searching for a life-saving gift. One Wilson County coach is looking for a kidney donor as he battles stage 5 kidney disease. Today on WRAL News at 4, how you could help and see if you're a perfect match.
Plus, worthless gift cards. Joann Fabric is going out of business and customers are frustrated the store is no longer accepting those gift cards. On WRAL News at 5 on your side found out why and the options people have to try to recoup some of that lost money. Still ahead this noon, Tesla Cybertruck recall. Elon Musk's car company needs to make repairs. Just ahead, the trouble with the trim on more than 40,000 of those electric vehicles.
Also, early April Fools. A popular iced tea brand's drink did not go over well with customers. What the company announced and the backlash it now faces.
More than 46,000 Tesla Cybertruck vehicles are being recalled. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the stainless steel exterior trim panel can detach and fall off the truck, causing a potential road hazard. This recall applies to Cybertrucks built between November 2023 and last month. Owners of the affected vehicles can have the rail assembly repaired at no cost.
Every time you see those driving around, you notice them right away. Fans of Lipton iced tea are raging on social media after the brand pulled an early April Fool's joke. The brand shared a post on its Instagram account announcing that its peach iced tea flavor would be discontinued. Well, a lot of people do not find that joke funny. Many immediately took to the comment section to express their anger. Well, Lipton responded yesterday with a follow-up post saying, "Got my dates mixed up. Thought it was April Fool's already." No, we're still in March. The brand added that it plans to send a surprise to fans with the best reaction comments. Again, that seems to be an early and accidental April Fool's Day stunt. So today we're asking you, do you enjoy April Fool's Day pranks?
Share your voice right now by scanning the QR code right there on your screen, or you can head to WRAL.com/yourvoice, and we will share the results before the end of this newscast. We've got not a bunch of folks who enjoy the pranks, I guess.
Not if you're on the receiving end. Depends on what kind of pranks.
Right. Locked, loaded, and hidden. Republican lawmakers push for more North Carolinians to carry a concealed handgun, no permit needed. The pushback that idea is getting from some corners today.
And housing for teachers, a new push to help school system employees find affordable places to live. Why supporters say they can prove the concept works.
And here are your winning NC Education lottery numbers on your screen. We'll be right back.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
We get an update right now on that breaking news we brought you right off the top of this new newscast. It's unfolding right now in Durham. In the past 15 minutes, police shared new information about the investigation in Oxford Manor.
Let's check back in with WRAL's Chelsea Donovan live at the scene. Chelsea, police now say this was a drive-by shooting.
Yeah, and two separate shootings at that. Still a very active scene. A little bit less of a police presence than there was when we came to you about a half an hour ago. But you can see the blue Ford Escape there, surrounded by all of these orange cones. Those are evidence markers. And so what we know is that, according to police, someone in a car began shooting at that blue Ford Escape here on Wiggin Street. The person inside that car was injured by shattered glass. Then the suspect fled the scene. Now, following that shooting, police said two men at the scene began arguing and one man was shot. That man was transported to the hospital. He's got non-life-threatening injuries. And then we also noticed that a man was taken into custody. Now, obviously, the scene a little bit smaller than it was earlier today, but it has spanned the full block here on Wiggin Street. You can see a lot of folks here on the left-hand side of your screen here at Oxford Manor. Obviously, many of them told us that they heard a number of gunshots. We'll be working to learn more, obviously, if any arrests will be made, as this shooting here in Durham remains under investigation. Live in Durham, Chelsea Donovan, WRAL News.
Any minute now, the North Carolina State Senate is expected to vote on legislation that would make it easier to carry a concealed weapon in the state. It is one of two bills making its way through the state legislature that would relax rules on permits.
It's been a polarizing issue so far. WRAL's Heidi Kirk is live at the Legislative Building this noon. Heidi.
Well, Jeff, Renee, that debate is taking place right through those doors behind me, literally as we speak. Now, currently, if you want to conceal carry in the state of North Carolina, you have to go through a background check, get a permit, go through classes, tests, even more than that. But now all of that would go away if this bill were to become a law. Now, we've been following this very, very closely. It's an issue that has divided Democrats and Republicans. Under the proposal, almost anyone 18 or older would be allowed to carry concealed without needing that permit. Now, early proposals on the legislation passed key committees this week with support from guns rights advocates, despite opposition from law enforcement officers and medical professionals. Again, a very divisive issue here. And there is a House bill on the other side that is very similar, just with a couple of changes. That's been held up in a couple of committees this week. Of course, we're following both of these very closely, and we should have an update really any minute now as far as Senate Bill 50. We'll be bringing you that update as soon as we have it. Heidi Kirk, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Two more arrests in connection with a Harnett County home break-in and robbery. The sheriff's office charged April Richardson and Case Cox with several felonies. A third suspect, Frederick Berryman Jr., was arrested on Monday. Investigators say Berryman and Cox forced themselves into a woman's home in Cameron and robbed her at gunpoint. Richardson is also accused of being involved. Durham lawmakers are asking for affordable housing for teachers. Their latest bill would allow the county and school district to build affordable housing for employees. 75% of units would be reserved for teachers. The idea for Durham has been brought up before, but it never passed. Other counties like Bertie, Hoke, and Dare have been able to build this type of housing. People in Durham can offer feedback on new bike lanes being proposed for the downtown area. From 5 until 7 this evening, you can stop by E.K. Poe Elementary to see the designs and give feedback. The on-street bike lanes are meant to connect downtown Durham with surrounding neighborhoods and greenways. You can also look at the plans online or attend another open house scheduled for tomorrow. The project is expected to begin in the summer of 2026.
Our county-by-county coverage takes us to Orange, Johnston, and more counties. Property owners in Orange County are getting new property values this week, and the county tax administrator has been preparing them for big increases. Home values have risen significantly in the last 4 years, about 52% countywide. Like many other counties in North Carolina, this amount of increase has not been experienced before. Property owners are encouraged to review their property details carefully. Formal appeals can be submitted from May 1st through July 31st, and they will be heard by the Orange County Board of Equalization and Review. The town of Smithfield is hosting a series of government in-touch meetings. That's to gather public input on the new fiscal year budget. Residents are encouraged to attend and share their priorities on issues like public safety, infrastructure, and parks and recreation. The first meeting is tonight at 6 and at the Sarah Yard Center on East Lee Street. 3 more meetings will happen next month. Pinecone Pathways program in Moore County begins today. Once again, these are photos from the years past. This is when the Star Works from Star, North Carolina, the Glass Works, they created 100 of these glass pine cones, and then they'll be hidden on trails countywide. It runs through April 22nd. The pine cones will have a special number and QR code on them, and if you find one, you can register it and be eligible to win a 2-night stay in Pinehurst.
Who wouldn't love that? Well, back pain challenges. A new study says a lot of treatments just don't work very well. Coming up, the ones that seem to work best.
And also, you can boost your mood. The start of spring can really raise your spirits. What experts say you need to do this season to trigger that change. What to do about back pain? A new study by experts says, unfortunately, not much. Researchers reviewed over 300 trials comparing over 50 non-invasive treatments for lower back pain, including that lower back pain that's exceptionally difficult to treat. And that's what they concluded. Researchers found only one treatment was effective at reducing short-term back pain, taking non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen or aspirin. For chronic back pain, they identified 5 treatments that could help: exercise, spinal manipulation, taping the lower back, antidepressants, and applying a warming cream. However, the benefits were found to be small.
Spring is officially here. Last month, WRAL Investigates brought you an eye-opening investigation into a district attorney's attendance, finding Durham's DA was in the office only about half of workdays.
WRAL Investigates Sarah Kruger is live at the Durham County Courthouse right now to break down the next part of this investigation. Is going to air tonight at 6. Sarah.
Jeff, in my reporting for that original story, DA Satana DeBerry claimed that the data was incomplete. I want to play for you now a snippet of that story.
She said because the records were generated by the county, not by her, they were not reliable. So I asked her to send me her records. Then she told me, actually, she doesn't have any. Her initial statement says there are ways she could enter the courthouse without swiping, and claims there are frequent issues with the courthouse security system that could have affected her data. Claims we were not able to verify.
So her claim that there are frequent issues with courthouse security was a shocking one to some of our viewers. This is a public building. It's, of course, important that it's secure. So since that statement of hers, I have been working to try to get any proof, any information on her claims. The former sheriff, who is very familiar with this building, reached out after my first story because her claims stood out to him that much. He says security was the focal point when this new courthouse was constructed.
When you all were talking about the construction of this building, how big was safety on your mind?
Priority was number one, and that came up in all of the meetings that occurred. So there was a lot of separation and priority that was put into security in this building.
So we continue to fact check the DA's claims. I'm asking the county about them. I'm asking the sheriff's office, and I am asking her what they have to say. That full investigation airs tonight at 6. Sarah Kruger, WRAL News, live in Durham.
Car thefts in the U.S. fell 17% last year, marking the largest decline in 40 years. The National Insurance Crime Bureau says the decrease is thanks to the hard work of law enforcement, auto theft task forces, and car makers. The areas that saw the most car thefts were Washington, D.C., California, and New Mexico. And the most commonly stolen vehicles were the Hyundai Elantra and Sonata and the Chevy Silverado 1500.
The new World Happiness Report is out, and the winner won't surprise you if you've been paying attention. Finland takes this top spot again. It's the 8th year in a row for Finland. Nearby nations Denmark, Iceland, Sweden, and the Netherlands round out the top 5. What's in the water over there? The biggest news for the U.S., it has reached its lowest position since the report began 13 years ago. We came in at number 24. The availability of health care, education, and social support play major roles in boosting happiness.
Well, part of what's in the water is there's water there. There's nature. They connect with nature. The Finns prioritize work-life balance. They have generous paid time off policies as well as family leave policies. So, that makes people happy.
We have room for improvement.
Always striving to improve, to do more. And weather-wise, we'll just have to kind of get through these next few hours, especially when the rain comes. Meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. I know our weekend looks great.
It does. That is something to look forward to. I know I'm looking forward to getting outside this weekend. I'll have more on what you could expect for Saturday and Sunday coming up. But we do have this front moving through. It's a WRAL weather alert day because as it moves through, we'll have enough energy in place that we'll have some showers, a few isolated storms during the evening commute. And notice back to the south and west of us, we're starting to see some activity in South Carolina that's lifting to the north and east. And while it doesn't look very impressive right now, if you look in the upper levels of the atmosphere at our jet stream, there's some pretty strong energy in the upper levels of the atmosphere. And that's why we still think we are going to get some showers and some storms, but it's just not going to arrive until a little bit later in the afternoon and evening. So the highest rain chances will be from around 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon until around 6 or 7 o'clock this evening, and then the rain moves out, drier air will work in, and it will be with us through the weekend. But on the back side of the system, we've been showing you video of some of the snow. They had it in the Midwest, they have it in Michigan right now. The cold side of the system, there's enough moisture in place in the North Carolina mountains. We could see a little bit of snow overnight tonight. It's not going to be much. It's probably going to be less than an inch, but they could get some snow over western North Carolina. Look at this image, this live picture from downtown Raleigh. Camera shaking here. The flag's really blowing there. It's 70 right now. Winds are out of the south, sustained at 15 miles per hour, but gusting to 23 miles per hour. 29 mile per hour gusts right now in Fayetteville. So pretty windy out there today. The winds will stay rather blustery through the day today, and then overnight tonight it stays breezy. This is Friday morning at 8 a.m. It's a breezy start to the day and stays breezy throughout the day with gusts up to about 20 miles per hour, and it could stay rather breezy into Saturday. So a few days of some gusty winds. Also behind the front, I mentioned the colder air that moves in. This is for Friday morning. We could have some patchy frost in some outlying areas. I do not think it's going to be widespread. I think the low temperature in and around the triangle, probably around 40, but some of those outlying spots could get down to around 36, 37. So can't rule out the potential for some patchy frost in some of the outlying areas. It'll be a chilly start to the day on Friday with temperatures in the low 40s for most of us. And then it stays pretty cool in the afternoon. We'll have a lot of sunshine. It's a beautiful day, a high temperature of 63. And then this weekend, Renee mentioned it, it's going to be beautiful both days, Saturday and Sunday. Sunshine both days, just a few clouds, and temperatures will be in the 70s. The NC Courage, their home opener is Saturday at 7 o'clock, and this is great soccer weather. 68 at 7 o'clock when the game gets underway. We'll be in the low 60s by 9 o'clock and upper 50s by 11 o'clock. But really nice weather for their first home game of the season. It's a weather alert day today. We have those storms through the evening, and then once we get to Friday, it is cooler and then beautiful over the weekend. We do have some more rain on the way as we head into Monday, though.
Amy, thank you. The big crunch. There's new data about how our universe might end.
And coming up, the mysterious energy that has some scientists rethinking our fate in the far distant future.
And here's a look at your winning Powerball numbers.
We wrap things up with a look at a few of the headlines we're following for you today.
We have breaking news in Durham. Police are investigating a drive-by shooting on Wiggin Street. Officers say around 11 a.m., someone driving shot into a car. The person in that car was hurt by some of the glass that shattered. Another person was shot after two people started arguing in the area. That victim has non-life-threatening injuries. Police say they do have someone in custody. They did not say what that person's name is.
Governor Stein's administration is warning that unless lawmakers change course, the state will soon be facing declining tax revenues. That warning came as part of a presentation to State, House, and Senate members this morning. Republican leaders have pushed back on those warnings, but say they are open to taking a closer look at the issue.
Today, Durham Public School leaders are working to find solutions to the district's budget deficit. The school board will meet at 5:30 p.m. to talk about the district's finances. In January, WRAL News reported the district has a $6.9 million budget deficit. Durham Public Schools initially uncovered a much larger shortfall, more than $34 million, but said they were able to shrink it to under $7 million.
Most scientists believe the universe is expanding at an accelerating rate due to something called dark energy. However, new data suggests this acceleration may have been slowing over the past 4 or 5 billion years, and dark energy itself may not even be constant. It could change over time. One possible future scenario is the opposite of the Big Bang. Everything could reverse and compress again into the Big Crunch. But don't worry, this would be billions, even trillions of years away, possibly, and many mainstream astrophysicists still have their doubts about that scenario.
Keep that dark energy way out there,
really.
Okay? Just positive energy here. It is time to shine a light on our planet's amphibians. This is World Frog Day. The observation aims to raise awareness about providing frogs with safer environments, as well as highlighting threatened frog species worldwide. Frogs have been around for roughly 256 million years. Give or take a few million. Globally, there are more than 7,800 species of frogs and toads, but a couple thousand species are under threat of extinction.
Jake is no frog. He's our pet of the day, a perfect companion for cozy nights, leisurely strolls around the neighborhood, or just keeping you company while you work from home. He's calm, and his warm personality makes him a natural at spreading joy and comfort. Great with people of all ages. You can learn more about him at hopeanimals.org.
Look at that face. Hard to say no to that face. A call for help. A Wilson County coach is turning to the public for help fighting a battle he can't win alone. Coming up at 4, how you can help. NBC News Daily is next on WRAL. Your next local news update in 30 minutes.
Get breaking news updates anytime with our WRAL News app. Have a great Thursday.
Stay safe with the latest WRAL Weather Alert Day info. Get up to the minute weather and traffic conditions when you get in your car. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.